Hi, this is Mark Riddle. I work with Hot Rod Magazine. I'm here with my friends Jim and Jeff at the Mantiques Network. Jeff's been kind enough to help me sell off some of my massive guitar collection. My dad was a jazz musician named Paul Riddle. That's Pops. He was a keyboard player for many years, and he sparked my love of music and musical instruments. In fact, I've got his Hammond B3 and Leslie cabinet in my living room, so that's not for sale, by the way. But keep an eye out for the obituaries in Long Beach, California, because I'm sure once I go, my wife's going to want to get rid of that 600-pound monstrosity in our living room. Anyway, this is the next in the line of guitars that I'm trying to sell. This is an oddball, and it's kind of hard to explain, so this video might be a little longer than the other ones, because the other ones are kind of easy. This is a Michael Kelly guitar. Those of you that aren't familiar with Michael Kelly, was a guy that out of Tampa, Florida, that started building guitars and selling them on his own. And I had really, when I bought this, I knew nothing about Michael Kelly. I'd seen that he made some Les Paul-like guitars, a lot of solid bodies. And I was in the market for a jazz box. I just wanted a pretty jazz guitar that I could play because I wanted just that fat jazz tone. And I saw this thing on the internet and I bought it. And I was just thrilled when I got it because it was unlike anything I'd ever seen, for the price especially, because I got it fairly cheap. But if you look at this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. The wood and the bookmark matching on the back and the sides is just incredible. And it's just such a pretty guitar. And part of the problem with this guitar is I thought it was so pretty that I really didn't want to touch it. You know, I played it a few times when I first got it, and I hung it on the wall and kind of just left it there like art because it was just so pretty. And a few years later, I've had it, I can't remember when I got this. I actually have some paperwork just so I could remember. I bought it in 2000, but I have no idea when it was made. And I knew nothing about the guitar, and I went online trying to search out what this thing was, because there's no markings, there's no serial number of any kind on this guitar. And I'm very meticulous about that kind of thing, and I like to know everything about everything that I own. So I ended up trying to call the Michael Kelly Corporation a few years later, and I'm going to read this just because I finally got a hold of the company that actually purchased the Michael Kelly guitar company, which is the Hanser Musical Group. And I emailed this girl, Jessica Hill at Hanser, and I said, you know, what can you tell me about this guitar? Because I can't seem to find another one anywhere. I don't know what the model is, I don't know what the name of this thing is, there's no serial number. And she was very nice, and she said, just send me pictures of what you got, and I'll send it to my guitar gurus, and we'll see what we get. So I'm going to read you the email I got back from Jessica. She said, "Hi Mark, I forwarded your photos to our guitar gurus, and they informed me that this is a sample made before we acquired the Michael Kelly line. During this time frame, it was not uncommon to produce a single sample that would be inspected and then sold either to the public or a dealer. It was never a production model, just a really cool sample from the Korean factory. In other words, it's a one of a kind. The downside is that we have no records of this guitar, and it's against company policy for us to quote the value of a used instrument. I hope this helps. Best wishes." But basically what I understand about this is it was a handmade luthier guitar from the Michael Kelly Corporation when they were going through prototypes trying to figure out what it is that they wanted to sell and what they wanted to produce to sell to the public. But what we end up having is a one-off, beautiful handmade luthier guitar that is just sweet and sounds incredible. Big fat jazz sounds. It's just a beautiful guitar. Again, I wish I had an amplifier because it just doesn't really do it much justice, but it's just got that, it's just a beautiful fat jazz tone. But anyway, she's a beautiful guitar. It's one in my collection, like I said, that I unfortunately never really played around with too much just because I thought it was so pretty and I just hung it on the wall as art. Putting a price on this is kind of difficult because it's a one-off. It's a handmade guitar, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And seeing it on video, I don't know if it does it justice the way that it does in person, but it's absolutely stunning. And I hope whoever gets it puts it to the use that it was intended for. I hope some, you know, sits somewhere in a smoky bar late at night and has some guy playing some jazz on this thing and just getting a big crowd reaction, because it's just absolutely stunning. Thank you.